Garlic bread seems simple, right? But one wrong move and it's too dry, too soggy, or not enough garlic and it's just bread. Today I'm making 3 versions of garlic bread, breaking down the key choices: wrapped or unwrapped, butter or olive oil, fresh or roasted garlic, so you can make the best version for your next meal. Garlic bread should be crispy on the edges, buttery in the middle, and packed with bold garlic flavor. But how do you get that perfect balance? I'm testing 3 methods today: one wrapped for soft, steamy garlic goodness, one unwrapped for crispy, golden perfection, and one topped with cheese for extra flavor. Let's get started. Hi, friend, come on in. Today I am making a few versions of garlic bread to show you how to make the best garlic bread for your meal. There are several choices to make: butter versus olive oil, bread type, garlic type, and wrapped versus unwrapped. Each choice affects the final outcome. I am peeling up about 3 cloves of fresh garlic. My cloves are very small, so I'm using extra. Fresh garlic gives a bold, punchy flavor and that signature garlicky bite. Because this is not in the oven for very long, the garlic will not have a chance to mellow out. Roasted garlic, on the other hand, is already mellow, slightly sweet, and buttery soft. Great if you want a more subtle garlic bread. I have about 3 to 4 tablespoons of half melted butter here that my minced garlic will go into. Another choice would be to use olive oil. Neither is better than the other, it just comes down to preference. Butter gives you richness, a softer texture, and that classic buttery taste. Olive oil makes the bread extra crispy and adds a deeper, slightly fruity flavor. Mixing both together can give you the classic buttery taste combined with the fruity flavor of the olive oil. Again, this comes down to personal preference. My perfect garlic bread is probably not the same as your perfect garlic bread. To my garlic and butter, I want to add a little garlic powder to boost the garlic flavor. Garlic powder tastes different from either fresh or roasted garlic, and it will add a depth to the garlic bread. I am adding about 1/8 of a teaspoon, a generous pinch if you will. I am also adding in some parsley, optional, but if you want a little pop of color, it definitely makes the garlic bread look nice. And I am also adding in a pinch of salt. Salt content will depend on if you are using salted butter or not. Obviously, add more salt if you are using unsalted butter. I will now repeat the same thing with olive oil, adding in garlic powder, salt, fresh garlic, and parsley. I'll use a pastry brush to brush the oil mixture onto the bread, making sure to get those chunks of garlic evenly spread out over the bread. I am using a homemade Italian-style loaf, which has a soft crust and soft interior, making it ideal for soaking up the butter or the oil while staying light and airy. If you want to see how this bread came together, let me know below. If you prefer a crunchier garlic bread, a baguette is a great choice. It toasts up beautifully and gives you that classic crispy bite. If you love a softer, richer garlic bread, you'll want to use a bread enriched with milk and butter to make a Texas-style toast. I will have my Polish video coming out soon, and for that I am making an enriched bread that would make a great Texas-style garlic bread, so keep an eye out for that. I am spreading the butter and garlic mixture onto several pieces of bread. I will brush the oil and garlic mixture onto several other pieces of bread to compare. Of the buttered versions, one bread will get wrapped in foil to steam for a soft, pillowy texture. Placing the pieces together helps keep the bread extra soft. Try wrapping them separately if you want a slightly different texture. One will bake unwrapped for a crispier golden crust, and for the third, I'm adding a sprinkle of a 4-blend Italian cheese before baking. For the oil and garlic version, I will have one piece baked as is, one set wrapped together, and the final piece blended with some of the butter for a hybrid garlic bread. If you're loving this deep dive into garlic bread and want more recipes that go beyond the basics, make sure to subscribe. I break down the why behind each step so that you can make the best version every time. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. I want to get these in the oven at 375 Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius. These will take about 10 to 12 minutes, but really this comes down to personal preference again. Toast up the garlic bread to your desired toasted level. The wrapped garlic bread will be hot and steamy and soft within that time range. Any longer and it will start crisping on the edges. I have cut my bread into smaller pieces to show you how each version turns out, but if you want less crispy edges, leave the loaf whole. On the other hand, if you prefer the crispy edges, definitely cut the bread before baking. This is how the various garlic bread versions turned out. On the butter side of things, wrapping the bread leads to a soft, pillowy garlic bread that is tender and delightful. The butter flavor is really strong. Unwrapped garlic bread is delightfully crunchy and satisfying, while the butter flavor is more mellow, allowing the garlic to shine. Adding cheese gives a depth of flavor by adding in an umami boost with the cheese. Using olive oil changes things up. Wrapped, the olive oil really shines through, so using a quality olive oil that tastes great will be key here. The unwrapped version was definitely more mellow, allowing the garlic to shine more while the olive oil stayed more in the background. And combining the two together gave a lovely light flavor of both the butter and oil while allowing the garlic to shine. I bet wrapping the butter and oil version would really bring out the flavor of the butter and oil even more. Garlic bread is perfect on its own, but it's even better when you dip it into roasted marinara. This is the perfect pairing, especially if you're serving it with pasta or a hearty Italian meal. Even better, you can turn this into croutons by cubing the bread and tossing it in the garlic mixture and tossing once or twice while toasting in the oven. So which garlic bread style is your favorite? Soft and creamy, crispy and golden, or buttery versus olive oil? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to try a softer Texas toast style garlic bread, keep an eye out for my upcoming Polish bread video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it, and thanks for watching!